this is the other one that drove me crazy.
Okay.
They had a fishing club, as in you go like competitive fish, as in like Bassmaster tournament stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So you go competitive fish for the school. You represent the school, right? And so in my head, I'm already doing the math. I'm like, oh, we go catch these fucking fish. We head over to Carnivore Club. What are we doing? This is you go catch a fish.
We're networking now.
Yeah, you go catch a fish. You slap that bitch on the grill and let's fucking rock. What are we doing? You know. That's exactly. I swear that's what it is. It's like his accent is what makes it so fucking funny to listen to him. All right. Ooh, I sound good. God, I sound like a fucking stud.
Yeah. Whatever you say, buddy.
Hey. Confidence is key, buddy. Confidence is key.
Hey. You can do something completely wrong, but if you do it confidently.
Oh, yeah.
It was it. Mission failed successfully.
Yeah, of course. It's the easiest way to do it. It's like our coaches told us in high school. If you're going to fuck up going 100 miles an hour.
That's right.
Then you don't have to worry about it. Nobody bothers you after that. Yeah. You can't be blamed for making a mistake that you made going all out.
No, because at least you did it and you did it confidently.
Hey,
that's confidence.
Especially in sports, if you just do everything balls out, most of the time you're going to end up in a good spot. Like, it's going to work out for the most part.
I feel like 95% of most things are momentum. Like, yeah. I mean, if you're confident, you're going all out.
Sure.
You're 100% committed.
There's where it's going to happen.
Even if it's wrong. I'm trying to find one of these dad jokes so that way Colton doesn't get rag on.
This ain't a last minute laugh. We don't have to do a dad joke.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's not a last minute laugh. We don't have to do a dad joke.
Okay.
No, we're just bullshitting.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, this is just straight bullshit session. We're already rolling too, by the way.
Oh, okay. Cool. I had a sneaky suspicion that you had already clicked the camera.
We always do it.
Yeah.
It's the best way to do it. Then we just start. There's no build up. There's no, we started now. You just start.
Yeah.
We've been talking.
And we have been talking for about 30 minutes now.
I know we probably wasted half of the podcast on this, but we're going to figure it out.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
So, how do you like my new dog?
Dude, I'm going to steal your dog.
It's the cutest
I'm going to steal both your dogs. That's going to happen for sure. You're just going to go back one day and be like, oh my God, the dogs are gone. I'm like, yeah, man, that's a travesty. I don't know.
You're going to send a selfie.
I'm just going to be talking to you on FaceTime. You're going to be like, is that my dog in the bag? And I bought a new dog.
No, it looks the same, it acts the same, but it's not your dog. It's not your dog.
I promise it's not your dog.
Hey, but since your dogs are missing, you care if I just use the same names for these dogs?
Yeah. What were their names again? I'm just gonna pick those names. For some reason, he's not answering to Fido, so we're just gonna go with whatever you were naming him. What kind of dog is that?
So he is a Staffordshire Terrier, which is a pit bull.
That's a pit bull?
Yeah.
How the fuck did you get a pit bull and a dachshund to fuck?
That's not a dachshund.
That's not a dachshund.
Mm-mm. So,
bullshit. That has dachshund in it.
Supposedly.
Okay, I was just going to say bullshit.
It's a mutt. It's a little bit of a mutt. But there's some pit in there. Yeah. We're going to see when it grows up. So the thing about Staffordshire Terriers, right? Mm-hmm. They're the European breed. So you have the American Staffordshire, and then you just have Staffordshire, which is the European. Yeah. A lot of American breeds are super tall.
Okay.
And like how you would visualize like a boxer, like that's pretty much the build of most American breeds. But then the European ones, they're usually squattier, so their leg length is a lot less.
Right.
And because they're squattier, they're naturally just a little bit beefier. Their heads are a little bit bigger. Their shoulders are a little bit broader. They kind of got a little bow to them. But if he is, in fact, a Staffordshire Terrier, then he's going to be shorter instead of the American one. But also, he's supposed to have like a quarter lab in there, too. So labs are tall.
Yeah.
But you're talking about like he's kind of long.
He has a weenie dog build,
right? His
legs and everything.
So they look like that when they're pups.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, but see what happens is their shoulders and their hips get super brawny.
Yeah.
And so they right now he didn't have any muscle mass because he hasn't hit puberty yet.
Right.
Well, as soon as he puts some meat on his bones, he's going to look like a completely different shape.
Yeah, that's weird, man, because he looks like a weenie dog.
Yeah.
He even has the head of a weenie dog. He's got the snout and everything. He looks like a weenie dog.
But that snout's only going to get just a little bit longer, and then it'll start to, like, wrinkle up.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, all pitties look like that when they're pups.
Huh. Yeah, could have fooled me and thought it was a weenie dog. Well, I mean, not complete weenie dog, but I thought it was a lot weenie dog.
Yeah. Well, who knows? You might be completely right. If you hit the nail on the head and in 6 months I have a dog that's basically the same size, I'm going to know I bought a lemon, but it'd be worth it. I love them all the same.
I love dogs, man. I haven't been able to get my dog's died a couple of years ago. I haven't been able to get a new one yet. I'm just not ready to get a new one. I feel like I'm cheating on the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm not up for it yet. It's
well, we were having the conversation the other day. The only reason, I mean, if you've heard any of our previous conversations about dogs, I wasn't really on board with it, but a lot of the logic kind of kicked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Sorry. That just went off on the show.
It's all good. But my dog being older in years now, and we've always believed and trusted that if you put a puppy with a dog with a good temperament, that a lot of that temperament transfers over
to the new dog.
As that dog, because the dog are like those expectations are already set forward.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, this is good and this is bad and this is when they want me to chill and this is when they want me to be excited. Yeah. So they learn that temperament. So I thought, well, my dog's 8 or 9 right now. She's probably, and she's got a lot of boxer in her, so I know that hip dysplasia already bothers her from time to time. So who knows how many years she's got left of being like,
the dog
super duper active before she just needs to take it easy and she just kind of like
just chills out
completely.
Yeah.
So it takes like 3 years for a dog to start acting normal anyways, because their hormones are going nuts.
Dude, that was the hardest part about having my dogs towards the end, was like when they turn into not your dogs anymore, and you're just like, oh, we're just waiting for you to die now. Like, you're not even my dog anymore. Like, we're just waiting on you to fall over. Like, it's so sad, man. Which mine weren't in bad shape or anything. They just like, when they get to that point where all they do is kind of like sleep all day, you know, I'm like, oh, my little buddies are gone. They're just kind of hanging out now, waiting to die. Like, damn it. Yeah, but oh well. Dogs are dogs. I just got to get another one. I'm not ready yet.
I know. How long? Hey, so you had smaller dogs. So how long were they around?
14 years. Well, I say 14. It wasn't quite. It was like 3 months shy of being 14 years. And I got them when they were like, I got Buster when he was 8 weeks old. I got Molly. Supposedly, this is why she had seizures. I'm guessing that's why she had seizures, because whenever we went and picked her up, they said that she was 8 weeks old and weaned. And I was like, okay, sweet. And I was thinking in my head, damn, even for a dog her size, she's awful little. Like, you know, I was like, she's tiny. And so we took her home and, you know, like asked them what they were feeding her. They told us what they were feeding her. So we got that same kind because we didn't want to jack her up.
Yeah.
And like, she couldn't even chew it. And so I was like, man, it's like she would chew on it a minute and then spit it out. Chew on it a minute, spit it out. And I was like, so I opened her little mouth one day. She didn't even have teeth. And I was like, this dog is not, there's no way this dog is 8 weeks old. So it was like maybe the second or third day we had her, she had a seizure. So we took her to the vet, and the vet was like, how old is this dog? And because we told her what we were feeding it and all that. And he was like, how old is this dog? And we were like, well, they said she was 8 weeks. And he just cracked up laughing. He was like, not a chance. He was like, he goes, this dog's barely past opening her eyes. He was like, she's 4 weeks old. She's old. He was like, there's no way. And he was like, I'm telling you, this dog's not 8 weeks old. And so he was like, she's got to go back like on the bottle. You know, he's like, she's like needs that kind of food. So we had to bottle feed her for like quite a while, and then like when she got her teeth or whatever, then we started like, you know, just how you do, going into soft foods and yada yada yada. But yeah, these people said she was 8 weeks. Nah, she was like barely past opening her eyes.
They just pulled her out of the pile.
Pretty much.
Here you go.
Yeah, and so she didn't have bad seizures, but she had like 2 a year. We're not talking about a dog had them every fucking day, just a couple times a year.
Yeah.
she would have a monster one and like freak out, gork out everywhere. We'd take care of her, back to normal. But I had her, so we'll call it 8 weeks old, even though it wasn't. I had her at 8 weeks. I had Buster at 8 weeks, and they were like, I don't know, a couple of months apart. Buster was a little bit younger than her.
Just barely.
Yeah, barely. And then so, like I said, we had them. Gosh, they were almost 14 when they died. Probably 3 months from. They were old, man.
That's
oldies. Fuck yeah.
That's a long time to have a dog.
Yeah, it was like having a kid, man.
Yeah. Man, I a lot of our dogs in our family, I don't know, I guess we provide all the stimulus they need. They live forever.
Yeah.
My great grandmother had a dog. I was too young. I personally feel like I was probably too young to have a dog. I just didn't take care of it very well.
Yeah.
And she ended up taking, it was a Pomeranian Chihuahua mix. So it was like a short-haired Pomeranian.
Right.
Almost jet black, had a little white on his chest. It looked like it could imagine like a Timberwolf, but like 14 inches long. That's literally what this dog looked like. And you like look at it and you're like, that's nuts. That's what a short-haired Pomeranian Chihuahua mix looks like.
Huh.
Yeah, it's nuts. But that dog lived 21 years.
No shit. That's a long time, man. My mom had a dog that lived 19. I thought that was a long time.
I was like,
21's a long time.
Why? Like, I attribute it to, I think the food quality, like everything else, has just gotten better over time. Because even whenever I was like a kid, you know, a dog would last like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then as I've gotten older, it's not just us. It's just even people around us. It's like, 12 years, 14 years, 16 years.
Well, that's the crazy thing is Molly, the girl dog that had the seizures, she actually was a little bit less than what she was supposed to last. But I attribute it to she had the seizures all the time, especially towards the end. She was having them more frequently.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of attributed it to that. Buster was actually about 4 years past what they're supposed to live to be. So, because Dachshunds, 10-year-old Dachshund's old. That's like an old ass Dachshund. Like just because they're backs, they don't last very long.
Jumping and stuff like that.
Yeah,
super bad for them.
And that's I think that's the thing that made me sad about both of my dogs dying was they were both still in really good shape. Like they still acted like regular dogs. You know, they were like, I mean, they were more laid back and stuff than when they were younger.
Yeah.
But they still act like dogs. Molly, just one of the seizures got her. Like it killed her one day. And then Buster, he was like in perfect health. There was nothing wrong with Buster. He was the healthiest little dog in the world. Jumped off the porch, fucked his back up, dead a week later. Because their backs don't lie. And I tried to keep him like settled down because I didn't want that to happen, you know? Because I was like, we're already on borrowed time with Buster. Because like I said, 10-year-old Dachshund's pretty old. 10 to 12 is like as long as they last. And like I said, he was already up 14 years old, so
he just had a disc.
Yeah, and then he just got out there with the young dogs one day and got to running around and jumped off the porch, made a weird sound, and on the way home I was like, I think my dog's fixing to die because like he was all hunched up, couldn't move, and took him to the vet. The vet was like, yeah, he was like, we can do a surgery. He's like, it's gonna cost you about 10 G's and it's about 40% effective. I was like, nope. You're not going to do that. Where's that shot? Like, yeah.
That's rough.
Speaking of rough, I had the roughest weekend, dude.
Talk to me.
It was not horrible, but it was just like a pain in the ass weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So my garbage disposal died. R.I.P. Garbage disposal died. So, and of course, it's just like when your car breaks down. It's not you fill up your tank of gas, fill up your tank full of gas, then your car breaks down. It's not like it's going to break down on empty. You know, like you're going to go spend the $70 to fill it up, then it breaks down 10 minutes later. So the garbage disposal, I had gotten it just full of food and was fixing to turn it on. That's when it decided to break down. So now I got to go in and nasty backhoe all the food back out of the garbage disposal with my hand, which was disgusting. And then 2 seconds after that, as I'm scooping the food out, I'm doing this thing, like wiping my face off, and I'm like, why is it so goddamn hot in this house? I was like, what is going on? I was like, I've got the air on. I thought I'm like freaking passing out or something, you know? So I go up, and because my daughter walks in, and she goes, Dad, it's hot in here. She goes, can you turn the air on? And I go, huh. So I walked over there, reached up, no air coming out of the vent. I was like, sweet, and it's summertime. So we cut it off. Of course, the lines are all froze up. The coils need to be cleaned. So I was like, well, that's awesome. I don't have anything to do that with, so I'm just going to call the maintenance guy and have him do it. So I was like, hey, you can fix the garbage disposal while he was out here. So then I walk in the bathroom, still don't know what happened here. Flush the toilet, come walking into my daughter's sitting on my bed. I came walking out, and we're standing there talking, and I go, do you hear that? And she was like, yeah. She goes, it sounds like the washer. I was like, it's way too close for the washing machine. Walk back in there, toilet's just running everywhere, all over the floor. I was like, son of a bitch, what is going on right now? It's like, what is happening?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything happened.
Then I'm in there plunging a toilet in 1-inch water. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ, man. What is freaking happening in this house?
You should have just rented a motel. Like,
oh, God. Then the cleanup's the worst. I shop vac it, though. I'm not a mopper. I just go get the shop vac and we're done. Go dump it out in the yard.
Hey, there's the right tool for every job.
Yeah.
Who's to say that wasn't the right tool?
So when I moved, you're saying that. When I moved into that house, it was like, what was this, 2 years ago? Yeah, it might have been 2 or 3 years ago. I was talking to a buddy of mine on the phone that lives a long ways from me. I barely get to talk to him. So when he calls, it's usually a pretty long conversation.
Yeah. So
I started a load of laundry, and then I walked into my bedroom. This is when my dogs were still alive. So I'd already put them in their little crates to go to bed, you know, like all that stuff. So my Buster was the boy dog. He never barked. Like I swear I heard that dog bark about 4 times my whole life. Like he just never barks, right?
Yeah.
So I walk in my bedroom. I close the door. It's probably 45 minutes into this conversation. Buster just, brr, brr, brr. And I was like, what the hell? So I just kind of, Buster, shut up. You know, 'cause I thought he was just barking at the wind or something. Mm-hmm. Brr, brr. He won't shut up. And I was like, ah, damn it. So I opened my door. And when I opened my door, so you've seen my house. You look down the hallway and you look into the dining room. Anywhere I can see outside my bedroom door is 1-inch water. It's like, there's like inch and a half of water all the way through the house. And I was like, what the hell? So I ran in there. So I guess the float mechanism, or it's not a float, but whatever tells the washer to stop when it gets full, it didn't stop. So the water just went up, over, out, and was pouring out into the house. So I ran sloshed down the hallway, and it's all the way into the living room. My house slants towards the living room. So in the living room, we're about 3 inches deep. And I was like, fuck. So the reason Buster was barking is because Buster is in his crate and his little legs are only about three inches. So Buster
head
is
sticking
like,
over the top.
So Buster is like chest deep in water going, help, help. I can't swim. And if I could swim, I'm going to hit the roof pretty soon. Like crates are kind of small. So I go, oh shit. So I ran over there and I opened the living room door, or the front door. When I opened the front door, it just poured out like a waterfall. Like it just out into the front yard. Same thing. Just got the shop vac and just as a matter of fact, a buddy of mine came over I'm telling you, this is like midnight. I called her and I was like, please help. And like she came over at midnight when we both had to be at work the next day, like help me mop it, everything. Like, the whole 9 yards. It took us till like 3 a.m. It was the worst thing ever. I was like, good God. I thought I was going to jack the floor up, but it didn't.
That's it. What?
Yeah.
You've had a lot of stuff break on you.
Yeah, it's weird. And, you know, it sounds like it, but since I've been in that house, that's been the only 3 things that happened. Those things that happened this weekend, and then the water thing. That was it. I've never had anything else happen in there. And I've been living there like 10 years. So it's not that bad. It just, like, it was the weirdest thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I hope I didn't kill the conversation with that one, but...
Now, do you, is everything taken care of?
I don't know. I'll find out when I get home.
Oh, the maintenance guy's over there now?
I guess.
What is it, Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think the air conditioning guy was supposed to come over today. The garbage disposal, I was told them, they were like, well, we can try to get somebody over there today. We'll have to rush them over there. I was like, it's a garbage disposal.
AC.
Like,
I need AC.
So I'll just use the other side of the sink. I don't care.
Give me the AC.
I don't even really worry about the AC because I've got a window unit in my bedroom, so the AC don't work, I don't give two shits. Like, I'll just go in my bedroom, turn the AC on.
There you go.
We'll figure it out later. I'm not that guy, man.
No.
I don't like to rush people. I'm just like I don't know.
Most of the time, I'm not either, but air conditioning is kind of important.
Yeah. If I didn't have a backup plan, I for sure would be a little more like, but I don't know. I hang out my bedroom anyway. So I just go in there, shut the door, turn the AC on, and keep that one room cool. I don't really care about the rest of the house. Don't care, not in there.
Speaking of hanging out, what have you done since this whole setup's been gone? I mean, since you don't really do anything anyways. I mean, all this was...
Oh, my house?
Yeah.
Nothing.
You just look over and like, oh... Does it look really empty?
I just took it down yesterday, and yes. Like, I just took it down last night because I haven't had a whole lot of time going on here lately, so it's still just been up.
Yeah.
And so I took it down last night, like at 6 or 7 o'clock last night. And I looked at there and went, this doesn't look right.
There's no curtains or
There's no nothing.
insignias or cords or cameras or lights or
There ain't
anything.
shit. There's not a damn thing in that house right now. It's just empty. It's kind of nice though.
Yeah. Well, that's different. They don't, you do this in its perspective space, and then you have your house now.
And I'm not always. What I like about it is I'm not always staring at it, going, "I should be doing something with this," and like, no, I think you turned yourself off. I was like, I don't.
That mic is not positioned in the right spot.
No.
I just slid it back, and it just caught.
I don't think mine is either. Nope, there it goes. Well, I got new mic coming. That one's broke. It's irritating.
But.
And the mic stands are coming, which will make it so much better.
Yeah, it will. So, you don't get to piddle with it anymore. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Because when I was at the house, that's all I did. Is just piddle with it all the time. And I was like, ugh.
Hey, did you go to that event this Saturday?
No. Well, there's a whole story behind that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how much I can talk about it on here because I don't want to let any cats out of the bag. So I'll be real delicate when I say all this. So they moved it up. So it was supposed to be late in the afternoon, as in like probably one of the second to the last, maybe the last type thing. The event was supposed to start at 1. They moved the event up to noon. And so that would put theirs at like probably 4:30-ish, somewhere right around there. They moved theirs all the way to before the event. They didn't even have them on the event. They had them before the event. So it actually kicked off. Their stuff kicked off at 11:30. I wasn't even leaving the house till 11:30 because I was like, oh, I don't have to be there till 1, and really I don't have to be there till late. But I'm gonna go up there and watch the whole thing. But there was some stuff go on. They moved it up to 11:30, and I saw I just watched it on the stream because they had it streaming.
Oh yeah,
they were streaming it live on YouTube. So I just got on there and watched it. It was good.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of her. It wasn't even close. They went lefties first, so they go lefties then righties. It was really strange how they did it too, because they usually they go left first and then immediately you go right, but they did left and then took like an hour break and then went right, and it was like kind of threw the whole thing off. But she lost left, just annihilated her with a right. Like it wasn't even close with the right. There wasn't even a close. It was 1, 2, 3 over. Like it was over that quick. She literally almost flash pinned her almost every time. Like it wasn't even a contest. There was one that she gave her a little run for her money, and the other two were just boom, and it was over.
Is the competitor, is she primarily a lefty or?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask. I didn't know about that. I don't know because I think she beat her 3-1 on the lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other girl beat Liz 3-1 on the lefty. If I remember right, I might be remembering that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was 3-1. I think Liz beat her once, and that girl just popped her 3 times. Pretty cool. It was almost the same as the righty.
It's just like...
So I don't know how. This is my thing. How do you judge that? Do you judge that as a win, or do you I think the actual thing was they were predominantly going right. So, but I still think, I'm like, well, what is that? This is the part that confuses me about that sport.
Yeah.
It's the thing that confuses me the most is like, okay, well, this guy beats the brakes off of you left, and this dude beats the brakes off of you right. What does that prove? What does that prove?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't understand what it proves.
Like, I don't know. I don't know anything about the sport.
I don't either.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm trying.
We're sitting here. We're no experts. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't know. Like, to me, that's what is weird about it. Is if you're gonna. So to me, if it makes sense to me that if you're gonna go right and you agree that. And that's the thing that I guess I've kind of heard is like, okay, well, we're going right, but we're doing left as well. But right is the one that matters. The left is almost like an exhibition type thing. Right is the one that matters. And I'm like, well, if right's the one that matters, then just do right. Fuck the left.
Yeah.
Do the left off camera. Like, fuck the left. Who cares? Or if you're going predominantly left, then fuck the right. Do the right later. Like, just do the left right now. Like, but to do them at the same time, now you still have a.
There's a gray.
Why beat you? Why beat you? Why beat you?
There's definitely a gray area.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I think if you're gonna do them, like then you do them at separate times, and it would be to me it's smarter. Like to me, they're losing money on the thing because. Okay, so let's say in a perfect world, let's say that this was the right-handed one, right? So Liz goes in and just beats the brakes off of a right hand, right? Just bam, 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 it's over, right? Now you build the next one with your left. You know what I'm saying? You go, well, you got me with that one, but that's not. I went weak-handed. This was your strong hand, so why don't you come? And now you've got another thing to build around. But now you just knocked them both out at the same time, and there's still this like, what if? Like you didn't get anywhere, you know? Like,
yeah.
So to me, why wouldn't you do the right with a guarantee that you will do the left at a later date? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a guarantee that by this date we will go lefties. So it's not one of those like, okay, I agree to the right, and then after you agree, you're like, nah, fuck off. You go ahead and agree on the two match thing right then. Like, okay, we're gonna do right, but August or whatever, it's lefties. You know, it's lefties only, and then you do it that way. That way you build two. You build this one, and then you build that one.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? That's what makes sense to me. I don't understand why you wouldn't do it that way.
I think we're in agreement in the fact that some of the ways that they do things are a little weird, but
it's a little strange.
There could be method to their madness. We just don't know.
Yeah, I'm not in it enough.
We happen to know two people that arm wrestle.
Yeah, so now all of a sudden I'm a goddamn expert on. Yeah, I'm sitting here talking like I know what the hell's going on. I don't. I have no idea what's going on. I just outside looking in, and I don't know anything about that sport. But what I do know is the promotion end of it is a little tough. Like you could do other things. That would make it a little more where you could build some things a little more, because they're knocking too many things out at one time that you could just keep this ball. You could kick this can down the road for a while, you know.
Yeah.
And now not only that, but you're making double your money off of the same people. Like you're doubling your money up, which makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. No. Who knows? Maybe I'm crazy, but I just feel like there's a better way to handle some of it.
Yeah.
Promotional end of it. Now, as far as like all the other stuff, man, I don't know anything about that. Don't have a clue. But I do all know on the promotional end of it, I think there's some room to grow for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably try to dabble in something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Maybe.
What do you think? What do you think he'd be good at?
Maybe. We'll figure something out.
I couldn't arm wrestle. There's no way. Obviously.
Yeah? Oh, I'm not. Look at this little rinky-dink ass arm right here. Look at that guy. There ain't no way that thing. I'd be. And aside from my life, even when I was like, you know, when you like arm wrestle in high school and shit, I couldn't even do that. There's a 3-year-old kid that could beat me. I got this long ass like forearm that's not. I don't think that's made for that.
Yeah. I've arm wrestled back in the day. Just like you said.
Yeah, just some schoolyard shit.
Yeah, and I was never bad at it, but
there's two things
I also would never expected to make a career out of it either.
There's two things I was really bad at. One of them was arm wrestling, one of them was pool. I can't do either one.
Yeah?
I can't play pool to save my life, dude.
All you have to do is swim.
Yeah, dude. We had this couple friend that whenever I was married, we had this couple friends that they decided to go out to the pool hall one night where I was like, I don't want to go. I was like, just take wifey. I don't want to go. They were like, why not? I was like, I don't do pool. They're like, why not? I go, dude, I'm awful at it. I go, awful to the point that it's like, have you ever had one? Well, I don't know if you golf or not, but have you ever had one of those assholes go golfing with you that shouldn't be out there, and then you spend all day waiting on them? That's how I feel when I go to the pool hall thing. I'm like, there's no reason to sit here and fuck with me. Like, you're not
that guy.
I'm going to make it not fun because I can't play. So you're trying to play and you're playing around me, because I'm not good at. You're going to be trying to knock your ball in. All 9 of my balls are still going to be on the table. Like I'm not good at this, so I'm going to be a hindrance. So I told him that, and he was like, no, man, it's just for fun. And I was like, okay, I get what you're saying, except for I don't think you understand how bad I am. And he goes, dude, nobody's that bad. He's like, just come out, we'll have a good time. He goes, I'll tell you what, we'll go girls on guys. He goes, maybe I can help you out with some stuff. I was like, sure, man, sounds good. So I went out. This guy is the most patient person in the whole world. And so I'm playing. We get towards the end of the night, and I hit one, and it's so bad. I hit one, and he just picks up the pool cue, sets it behind his door, and goes, Jesus Christ, dude. It's like that, and I go, I told you this is how this was going to end. I was like, now you're mad. And he's like, I'm not mad. Fuck, man. He just says that. I go, I told you, man, it's kind of how it goes, huh? I was like, I told you this is how this is going to end, right?
You even warned him multiple times.
I try to tell you, man, you're going to get mad at me by the end of the night. You're going to be mad at me. He goes, I just don't understand how you missed that. He goes, it's literally just, and I go, I don't know. You're right. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying I can't do it.
Geometry is just not your strong.
Can't do it, man. I don't know how.
Well, I've seen you operate a circular saw.
Yeah, it's not great. I'm terrible with circular saw.
You're telling me you're not good at pool.
No.
So it's just like straight lines and angles. So just
Nope. It's not great for me, man.
Which is weird because you did a great job on this room.
Yeah. I can put stuff together sometimes, but when it comes to, especially a circular saw, oh, hell no. My dad doesn't even let me touch one. He won't even let me touch a circular saw. He's like, nope, no chance. You can't cut with a circular saw. I'm like, I know. I can't, I don't know. It just doesn't line up right. My eyes are crooked.
Your eyes are crooked?
Yeah.
No, they're not crooked. That's the problem.
I guess. I just can't. I can't do it, man. I can't use one.
That was actually a grade in school for me.
Really?
Yeah. Literally.
I would have failed.
Literally, so you had to use a speed square and mark a line.
Okay.
And then you had to properly use a circular saw and then cut down that line and then check it with another square. And that was a whole grade.
Huh.
Yeah.
So we didn't have, I went to a podunk school, and we didn't have any of that. Can you believe that?
What are you talking
know.
about? I can't.
I know, right? I know.
That doesn't make sense.
We had none of it.
That doesn't make sense.
We didn't have ag. We did not have wood shop. We didn't have anything like that. We had literally none of that. We had welding. We didn't have anything. We had sports, and we had flag corps, and we had band. That was it.
That's nuts.
We had a rinky-dink ass art class, I guess you could take, but nobody ever took it because hell, you had to buy most of your own shit, No, it wasn't like school funded or anything. They were just like, and then they didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
I was in it 1 year and we learned how to crochet. It's like,
there you go.
Yeah, I couldn't do it on a bet now, but I made a hell of a pot holder.
Hey,
I made a pot holder, and then home ec, I made a pair of boxers that knock your socks off. So that was it. That's all I was good for.
I made a pair of PJs, pajama bottoms in home ec. made some cookies.
Now,
yeah.
What'd your home ec teacher look like?
Just short one, middle aged.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you now, ours. What are we doing? Smoker. Everybody wanted to take that class.
No,
there were more dudes in home ec than you could even imagine.
I don't know. I can't remember the details around it, but at a certain point, halfway through high school, I had time that I needed to have filled. And I think I'd had 2 ag classes. I'd stopped with sports after my freshman year. That's a long story in itself, but I have a break in my leg that doesn't heal, that didn't ever healed right.
Right.
And so after that big headache, I was just like, I'm not going to do sports anymore. So after my freshman year,
that was it.
That's pretty much. I just quit.
What'd you play before that?
Everything.
Oh, you played everything.
Yeah.
What did you play in football? Let me guess. Strong safety
No.
or free safety?
No.
No.
So when I started in football, I was a cornerback. You know, small, skinny guy, right?
Yeah, you're 5'2". There's no way. How are you going to be a cornerback?
Right. Well, I was fast.
Okay.
But, you know, because most guys that are the same size, they hit each other throughout the year, right? And so as I put on like a lot of weight, like really quick, like at one time. And because I was like literally like 50, 60 pounds up until I was in high school. I was like Tiny Tim small.
Right.
Well, then like that summer, I almost doubled in weight. And well, that summer plus a few months. And when I got into high school, they moved me from cornerback to outside linebacker.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because he was like, this guy's still fast, but he's starting to ring people's bells.
That makes sense. Because outside linebackers always, I thought you were going to say middle linebackers. I was going to say, fucking Christ, where'd you go?
Fuck no.
Yeah, but outside linebacker, I see that because you're yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But
I would have definitely thought strong safety because that's what you look like.
Yeah, but that was I moved like, 15 yards to the left or right, and it was like a completely different game. I was like, wow, there's all kinds of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
It was fun for me because I had quick feet, and it was like a lot of it, that adjustment going from those smaller guys. Like I wasn't the best at making tackles, but I enjoyed really making good full contact.
Yeah.
I wasn't great at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and
say you're some kind of stud.
I was not, but it was definitely I was in the right place where it worked out really well whenever they moved me. I had a great time.
Yeah.
The one season I played it.
I wasn't a defensive guy. Never really played defense. Always played offense. I've went in for one defensive, two defensive plays.
Yeah.
One really good. One most embarrassing moment of my life.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, God. Horrible. Yeah, we had a guy that I think he wound up, we were playing a guy, I think he wound up going on, I know he played at Oklahoma, and then he wound up, I believe, getting drafted by the Patriots at one point. He was either drafted by the Patriots or he tried out and then he was on the Patriots. And I don't know that he necessarily started, or he might have started a couple of games, whatever, but he wasn't like a big star or anything, but definitely played there. Well, he was the quarterback for this team that we played. And so if I'm in on defense, it's a problem. Like, everybody's hurt. That's the only way I'm going in on defense. So a name gets called, and it's one of those where it's almost like one of those scenes out of a movie where you're sitting there, one of these things.
This guy?
Yeah. I was like, me? You sure me?
This part of this bench is real warm right now. You sure you need to go in?
I was like, I guess. And so I went in. I mean, hell, I went in so infrequently that they called the play, and I was like, I don't even really know what that means. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And so I had to ask the guy next to me. He told me. I was like, sweet. So I'm supposed to run right up through and cause, you have this guy. And I was like,
plug the hole.
In my stupid brain, I'm like, that doesn't seem like the thing to do. So the quarterback takes off. They
snap the ball.
He takes off right down the line, like he's going to do almost like a quarterback sweep. That type of thing. So he takes off right down the line.
It's like a pitch.
I saw him do this, and I was like, oh, I know he's going to keep it. There's no way he's not going to keep it. So instead of running right down the line with him, I knew that he was faster than me. So I kind of ran backwards so that I could get like an angle on him, right? So I took off running backwards, and of course everybody's looking, going, what the hell is happening here, So I ran backwards and kind of made a loop around, right? Mm-hmm. So about the time I make this loop around, he's making the loop around the line. right? And so we're right like 45, 50-yard line. And we're right in front of our home stands. Like, well, it's our away stands because we're playing there.
Yeah.
So it's our away stands. He loops around, and I loop around, and it's everybody else is tied up. It's just me and him. It's me, him, and the goal line. All that's left, you know? So in my head, I'm like, this is it. This is my moment. You know, I was like, I'm going to rock this guy. I'm going to rock this poor kid's dome right in front of everybody. I'm going to make a highlight reel somewhere. I mean, this is going through my head as we're making this loop. And I'm like, so I running at him. He's running at me. And I'm thinking, okay, he's a quarterback. He's going to put like a little juke on me. I got to be ready for that.
Yeah.
This guy didn't give two shits about what I was doing.
Just ran right through your ass, didn't he?
He ran.
Blew him.
He hit me so hard that I could hear it. Like, I heard the wow, and I was thinking in my head, like, wow, that was hard. So I flew backwards, like Nestea plunge style, landed on the ground. Well, he hit me so hard that he started stumbling. So
he ran over you.
I landed on the ground, and his cleat went directly into the middle of my chest, and he ran over the top of me as he was running for like a 50, 60-yard touchdown. Like, never even broke stride. The small stumble was the only thing he had. And when I got to watching film the next day, I had a perfect cleat mark in the middle of my chest. Like, you could see the little spikes and everything. Like, it's like somebody drew it on my chest. And they rewound and played that, I don't know, 800 times. Like, and usually they're getting on you about something like, don't do this.
They're just laughing.
No, just laughing. Just laughing. It was the worst. And it was so bad that as I was flying up in the air and going backwards into the Nestea plunge type thing, all I could hear was our stands going, ooh. I was like, damn it. And then he never broke stride. It was our stands going, ooh, and their stands cheering because he's on his way to a touchdown. I was like, God damn it.
Your moment.
That was it, yeah. That was one time. That was the last time I was in on defense. The first time was actually pretty cool. I got a sack. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's kind of nice by accident, but
hey,
I still got it.
It's okay.
That's still on the old record.
What's that? I guess if you're thinking about baseball stats, you're at 500.
I'm at 500.
You're at 500.
500 hitter right now.
That's not bad. That's not a bad record.
Yeah, I told him after the sack I wanted to quit. I was like, after the sack, I don't want to play defense ever again.
Nope. And on a good note.
Yeah, I was like, let's just end it here. I got a sack. I was in one play. I didn't screw anybody up, and I got a sack. I was like, let's not do this anymore. And then they put me in and watched me get annihilated probably 17 games later. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah. See, that's a weird thing on the topic of football. I enjoyed football.
Yeah.
I already told you I wasn't great at it.
Yeah.
But I also, when I was in school, and I apologize to anybody that's listening to this that I went to school with, I have never, I was in my 20s when I was able to wrap my head around the concept of the game as a whole.
Oh, yeah, it's really dumb.
Like, I was just like, hit that guy because he has the ball. Mm-hmm. Like, outside of that,
you're fighting over a piece of leather.
I had no idea what I was doing. It was like, hit this, guard this, that's it.
Oh, you're talking about X's and O's. You didn't know what was going on.
No, I legit was just
wow. You were out there just free-handing it?
Well, see, you know what's funny about that? So, sports, right? So, I told you I did everything.
Yeah.
I did football. I did cross country. Mm-hmm. I was in off season. I did powerlifting. I did track. I did baseball. Mm-hmm. Like, I did almost everything I could participate in school.
Right.
I didn't want to do sports. So, in our 6th grade year going into 7th grade year, there was a moment in our health class. So, our health teacher was also one of the athletic coaches.
Of course, they always are.
And he just real quick, he goes, hey, everybody stand up. Everyone in the room stood up because there's all the boys in the grade, and then all the girls were doing their own thing in their health class. Everybody stood up. He goes, okay, now everybody that doesn't want to be in athletics, sit down. And he had a pad and a pen, and everybody that sat down, he just wrote them down. We used to call them bleacher creatures, right? But yeah, right, exactly.
That's so messed up.
Right? But they were just the kids that didn't want to be in athletics, but you have to do you have to have an athletic credit. Yeah. We hazed a little bit back in the day. But I sat down that day.
Yeah.
I sat down.
So you were a bleacher creature for a day?
No, well, that's the thing. I sat down because this was for the next year because athletics started in the 7th grade. Yeah. So me and like 6 other people sat down, and like the guy in front of me was like, stand up. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do sports. And then even the coach was like, oh, you're just messing around, and like didn't write my name down. And I went into athletics. Like
you got gang raped into athletics.
Well, like everyone was just thought I was joking, but I was like, I had no interest in sports then. But then because I got into it, because everyone thought it was just a big joke, I was like, okay, I guess this is what I'm expected to do. And I did sports. Now I was naturally athletic, which I think is probably why everyone just assumed I was joking.
Right.
But no, I
got really tired. I got really tired of it, man. I was over it by my junior year. I was just like, what are we doing? Yeah. Only because I gained that perspective of like, I mean, I was like, man, it's Friday, and it's because I always had a very broad range of friends.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't just hang out with the guys in athletics. I didn't just hang out with these. I like had a whole hung out with these guys a little, hung out with these guys a little. So I hung out with the dopers. I hung out with the what you call the dark table, like I guess the emo kids of the gothy emo kids. I hung out with them.
Yeah.
Hung out with the jock. Hung out with everybody. Hung out with the nerds. Like I hung out with everybody. You know, I was nice to everybody. So I guess watching them, I started gaining a little perspective on like my junior year. I was like, I spend my entire Friday evening tackling sweaty dudes in tights. Like I feel like I don't want to do this anymore. Like this seems dumb. Like they're all out doing the stuff I want to do, and I'm here doing this. Like,
or they show up to make fun of you doing the thing.
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't really want to do this anymore. So my senior year, I did try to quit. They guilted me back into like, you got one more year, you might as well just finish it out. And I was like, I guess you're right. So I finished it out, but that whole senior year, I could give 2 shits less what happened. If we won, if we lost, if the bus caught fire and we didn't get to go, I was like, I don't care.
That's like, senioritis right there. That's what that's called.
I did not care. I stopped giving a shit my junior year about like actually playing, but it was the same thing that you were talking about. I was just good enough that like I didn't really have to give a shit, and I was still better than most of the people out there. So I was like, I can get by on this just off of sheer athleticism. I can get by. Like,
yeah,
I don't have to really put my all into this, and I'm going to be better than most of them out here, and I don't really have to like do a lot. So I guess I'll just hang out until it's time to stop doing this.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a club.
Yeah.
One thing that I had noticed from like where I grew up at and like that particular school, not long after we were done, like my class and maybe a couple classes after that, the drive, like the culture was there was a couple outskirting people that were not interested, and then the majority was involved, right? That culture changed very quickly. Like I said, like 3 to 4 years later. Mm-hmm. Like I have a cousin who is 3 years younger than me. The majority of their class and the classes following for a long time was out of doing anything athletic.
Really?
And there was just a handful that wanted to. And so like my brother, he goes to the same school right now. He's a junior. He got on a lot of varsity things because they didn't have enough people to do JV. Like, and it's just now like that tipping point is starting to come back where the majority is getting involved in sports again. It was just weird. It was like, it was just several years where the kids are just like, nah, I don't even want to deal with sports.
I often wonder that because, like, I mean, I don't know. My daughter's 16 going to high school. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but like, I'm not trying to sound like the old guy here, but they're so, like, even when you go and you're seeing them, this sounds like I'm talking about a National Geographic deal, but when you see them in their natural habitat, when they're not at your house, like, yes sir, no sir, that shit. When you go and watch them, like, just hang out,
being them,
when they're being them, and you're just like back where they can't see you, and you're watching what they're doing. These kids now are so less aggressive. Like, they don't really. And it might be just her school, but you watch them, and I'm like, how do any of y'all play sports? You're just so. Like, you're not confrontational at all. There's no.
I was really timid.
Really?
Yeah.
That wasn't me for sure.
I wasn't feeling myself until I was like 22.
They're just, these kids are like, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that like this is a bad thing. Definitely not a bad thing. It's just that I wonder if like that whole, because it seems to me, I'll look at some of the kids in her grade and like, this kid will be gigantic. You know, I mean, this
is just a big teddy bear.
A big kid. I mean, like where you're like, oh, that kid could turn into something, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'll look at her and I'll go, hey, so that guy there, is he on the football team? And she's like, nah, he's in theater arts. And I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, he does like all the plays and stuff. And I'm like, he doesn't play sports? And she's like, no. And I'm like, huh. And then it's the same thing. You're like, you see another, you know, tall, lanky black dude, very athletic, you know, and I'm like, basketball team? She's like, nah, he does band. And I'm like, but he does basketball too. And they're like, no. And I'm like, huh.
Wait.
It's just weird. Like, it's kind of the thing you're talking about where I'm like, these kids aren't playing sports. What are they doing? Like,
well, I think there's a big culture shift too.
Yeah.
Because like when I was in school, when you were in school, you know, before cell phones and everything, first off, information transfers very quickly. There's also something for everybody now. Whereas before, options were a lot more limited and information was a lot harder to get to.
Right.
So, for instance, when we were in school, the outlets that we had, like, even though I was involved where I could be, you know, I just told you all the sports I did. I also did, you know, I did ag, I did woodwork, I did welding, I did the metal, you know, tractor mechanics was a thing, you know, I got into like land judging and stuff that has to do with like horticulture and things like that. And then I was in home.
How did your tiny school have all this shit? We had none of this.
Yeah, and I was in home economics, and I like competed in some, not home ec stuff, but like the ag stuff. Like I went to Tarleton, and I like I went to Tarleton and I competed in those events that were pretty cool. But but I kind of dipped my foot in everything that there was, and you know what there wasn't? There wasn't anything that was art related, or I mean there was band, but it was just like traditional band where you played an instrument. There wasn't like theater arts or stuff like that.
Right.
It's like now there's stuff out there that's very glorifying. Like geeks are now super cool because of the things that they can do. Geeks weren't cool when we were in school.
No, geeks were definitely not cool.
They weren't cool. They were the weird kids that you didn't want anything to do with. Now they're the go-to. They're the connection to get you where you want to go. So, like, that's a popular thing now. Glee Club. Glee Club, I made fun of Glee Club when it came out. Yeah. I started watching it, and it's about a bunch of teenagers in theater arts. And
it's just not
like I didn't vibe with that whenever I was in school, but there are kids, or I say kids, there are people younger than me that probably saw that and they were like, "Oh, okay. I can put myself in that character's shoes. That's something that I connect with. Why would I want to play football? The only person that wants to play football is my dad, and it's because he wants to inadvertently kind of live out his
he wants to vicariously live through me,
and I don't really care for that. So there's a lot of different options where people can connect with and be like, oh, I see myself in this character in this thing, whereas before, you know,
you only had
the standard American kid in public school had like maybe 10 options, and now there's like 100.
You say that, so whenever she went to her, I guess they have like almost like a high school orientation type thing now. Yeah. We didn't have that either. They were just like, good luck. Don't get beat up. And if you do, fight really well. But no, we went to this little high school orientation or whatever, and it was where she signed up for like her electives and like her classes and all this stuff. Yeah. And so the electives, all of them had a booth. You know, where if you didn't know what it was, you could walk up and they had like, you know, they had the little tripod type thing and they'd be like, oh, this is what we do.
Kind of like a job fair.
Yeah, sort of like a job fair. Same thing. They'd be like, this is what we do. And then you could go, oh, okay. And you could like decide whether you want to sign up for that or whether you want... Dude, we walked in and I was like, what the hell? These things were everywhere. They had shit that I was like, there was one. This is the one that gets me every time. This, and I guess this is where, again, I guess I'm the old guy here. Because there was one where I walked up and there's this kid standing there and he's like, in front of his little board, he's all by himself. And it was called Carnivore Club. And I was like, what is this? You know? And so there's nobody around. I mean, it's just him standing there all by his lonesome. He's the guy who's presenting it. You know, there's nobody over there. So I walked up and go, dude, I have to ask, what is a carnivore club exactly? And he was like, oh, he said, well, we basically teach you how to like cook meat, smoke meat. We do like, internal temperatures, why it has to be this, why basically like why a brisket gets tender, and basically they teach them how to cook, smoke, whatever, and it all has to do with meat.
Like Grill Master.
Like just about. Like a Grill Master thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking around doing this going, where's the line? Like,
where's all the kids?
Where's everybody
cool,
right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, usually it's only like one person signs up for it. Now, I turn around to look, and I want to go grab these idiots and go, hey, why don't you try this out, huh?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
As an old dude, yeah.
You know the one booth that you could not, I mean, the line was so long that it looked like you were standing in line for a concert.
What's that?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey.
I wanted to go over there. And I wanted to stick my arm out in a clothesline fashion and just run as fast as I could and see how many of them I could take out. I was like, you got this. So this is the other one that drove me crazy.
Okay.
They had a fishing club, as in you go like competitive fish, as in like Bassmaster tournaments.
Yeah, okay.
So you go competitive fish for the school. You represent the school, right? And so in my head, I'm already doing the math. I'm like, oh, we go catch these fucking fish. We head over to Carnivore Club. What are we doing? This is you go catch a fish.
We're networking now.
Yeah, you go catch a fish. You slap that bitch on the grill and let's fucking rock. What are we doing? You know? No, nobody saw it my way. It's like, what's wrong with you people? This is so simple. We put two and two together. They're gonna provide you a credit for going and fishing, and then they're gonna provide you another credit for standing by a grill where you should have a beer in your hand, but you're a high school kid.
High school kid, yeah.
So let's throw a Gatorade or a Red Bull or something. We throw that in your hand, and you're sitting around Hank Hill style going, "Yep, fuck yeah, that looks good, dude." You're doing what I do on the weekends, but you're getting credit for it.
Yeah.
Where everybody else is telling me to quit being a dumbass. I'm like, what is... And the Dungeons and Dragons one is just... couldn't be more full. And I was like, I want to kill everybody here. Like, I really do.
Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
God bless, no.
Have you ever even entertained D&D?
Listen, man. The minute that they say that there's a story behind the game, I'm out.
Yeah?
Absolutely, I'm out. Not a chance. And I've heard the beginning of this thing where it half past yarn and all this happy, whatever the fuck they're saying. I'm out. No way.
Well, you don't got to worry about that.
I couldn't entertain it.
But you're a guy who has strategy in his head. That's the thing, right? So as a player, you don't think you could be a good player? No, I'm not like a dungeon. So a dungeon master has to do the story, right?
Okay.
So we're not going to mess with that.
Sure.
But you're telling me that you wouldn't just build your own character like you would in like a game. No. You are your own character.
Sure.
Right? So say you just built a character after yourself and you sat down and they said, okay, well, this is the setting. When it's your turn, and you wouldn't want to lay waste, burn, rape, pillage, and just like beat someone in their own game.
No.
Why?
It just is. Again, this is where
this has nothing to do with the story. This just has to do with you as the character.
Right. I hear you. And this is where. So I play a lot of card games, but you won't see me play a lot of board games because of this exact thing. My logical brain won't let me wrap my head around. I don't care that all I'm doing is strategizing. It's why I don't play Risk. I can't play Risk because it's a strategy game. But at the end of the day, I'm like, this is horseshit. What are we doing?
I forgot.
Yeah,
a little bit, like, it's the logic.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get my head around it. Like, even though I get it, and I'm listening to schmuck, and I'm trying to do the strategy thing, but at the end of the day, I'm still going, what are we doing? We're talking about.
Yeah, you're sitting at a table with a bunch of dice and a bunch of other people.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Now, I can play board. I can't do a lot of board games because I'm the same way. Like, I kind of sort of like Clue.
Yeah.
I like Monopoly. I do like that one, and I'll play any card game. You want to play Uno or Skip Bo or fucking Go Fit? I'll go play any of that. But it's tough for me, especially when there's a story along with it. It's so hard. It's so hard. I don't know why. I can't. It's just. I was like that when I was a kid, though, man. I wouldn't have played it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was always like my mom she said the same thing. I was an old man. Like, I was an old man in the kid's body. I never got into that stuff.
I don't know. I know a few people that play Dungeons and Dragons, and I've entertained the idea, but I've never actually been able to sit through a full match myself. But I was willing to try.
Because at some point you're going to be sitting there and you're going to go, what are we doing? But, you will.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm willing to try.
I get it. I get it.
Yes, you got to try.
I get it. It ain't happening, but I get it. But that after a couple hours of sitting there, you'd be looking going, what am I doing? It's the same reason my brother and his kid, and I'm not knocking this, man. I'm not knocking this at all because I'm in the minority on this, and I completely understand. But my brother and his son, that's kind of their bonding deal. Is like they'll play video games like crazy. They'll sit down for a day and just like knock it out. My brother's been like that since he was a kid. He's always had the newest system, whatever the new one is.
That's his thing.
That's the one he had.
Yeah,
and I cannot. I swear to you, I cannot do it. I can't. It's not in me. I can sit down. I will play one little video game with my daughter. 10 minutes, and I'm like, all right, you got to play this on your own, man. I can't. It's not in me, man. I cannot sit there and do that.
See, there's probably 3 video games that I've played out to the end.
Right.
And what's funny about those video games, and this is probably the part that's going to turn you off a little bit. Each one of these video games, it has a well-written storyline that is compelling enough to draw me
kind of like watching a movie, except you're in it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I've been able to play the game all the way through is because of that. Because I'll play I've got 20, 30 games in there. I've got I don't have the newest PlayStation, but I have the PS4.
Yeah, and
I'll entertain anything, and I could drag my wife in here, and she'll tell you. She's like, he'll play it for 30 minutes to an hour, and then he's just like, no, I can't do it. I'll try.
You know what's crazy about that is when you're saying that, but when my brother would sit down and play those video games, there's no chance I'm playing with him, but I'll sit there and watch him play them all day.
See, she does the same thing.
Yeah, I'll sit there and watch it. I'll be entertained by it. I'll be sitting there going, oh shit, holy shit, that was badass. I can watch it.
You just can't do it.
The minute I start playing it, that's when I'm like, what are we doing? Yeah. What's happening right now?
But see, there's a video game called The Last of Us, and then years later, they just dropped it not too long ago. This is part 2, or the second part, and both of those games, it's about a father who loses a daughter at the beginning of the game, and then years later, he becomes a guardian. This is post-apocalyptic.
Right.
He becomes a guardian in a super rough situation because everything is very restricted and the government's really imposing, and he's a rebel already. He gets ownership of another little girl that's about the age his little girl was when she died, crazy. And he's already lived 20 years past this tragedy, and he's super jacked up and messed up because of all this stuff emotionally. And then he's got to deal with this girl that's the same age as him, and he's charged with basically getting her across the country in this super harsh environment, and he ends up absolutely just fallen in love with this girl, and he's the father that she never had, and that's the daughter that it's just like they bonded, and it's just compelling enough for me that I could play the game.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see what happened next. That's the only reason I was able to
keep playing. You want to see how it ended, like a movie style.
Like I said, I'm not big on gameplay.
Yeah,
but
I want to see what happened next.
It was enough to hook me to finish the game out, and it was like I got done with the game, and I was like, wow. I don't know what they did, but they did a good job because I've never done that in my life. And then 6 years later, they were like, oh, they're making a part 2 where she's like an adult woman,
right?
And he's still around, and I'm like, what is going on? And I automatically wanted to but I have like I said, I got 3 games. That's it. It's something about the right story and having a compelling, good story. A character that you can put yourself in. That's the only thing that works.
Yeah. I can see how that would draw you in. I definitely can see it.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. You explained it in a way that makes more sense to me than most people explain it.
Yeah.
That explains it better than most people have. But I'm not changing the subject. But you were talking about part 2s. Yeah. How old are you? When you were born? What year?
93.
Never mind. It's not going to translate.
What were you going to say?
Not going to translate.
Might. You never know.
Maybe. You a Top Gun guy?
I like Top Gun. Yeah. Top Gun 2 is coming out.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Thursday. Well,
I'm a little excited.
The special premiere is tomorrow. Can't get tickets to that. Don't have the VIP access bullshit. Yeah. But the girl at work did, and I was like, "Can you transfer the tickets to me?" She goes, "They won't let you transfer them." I go, "Sweet Jesus, let's go together then,
please." Top Gun.
Yes, it comes out Thursday. Me and Pops are probably. Well, I don't know if we're gonna watch it Thursday or Friday. Depends on what Baylor does in the Big 12 baseball tournament. If they win on Wednesday, then we'll be going to the game on Thursday. If they don't win on Wednesday, which they won't, we'll be going to the movie on.
What a hater.
Not a hater, just realistic. Watched them all year. I know this shit show's gonna end.
See, this is weird for me. Sometimes you can dream real big, and other times you are terribly realistic.
Yeah. Oh, I know this one's gonna end. It's gonna be rough.
I'm just saying. I
hear you. I hope they pull it out. I hope they do. It's tough.
You never know. You don't know what team's going to show up. You know what I mean?
I think even their best team's not going to do great.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing about sports, especially baseball, because,
here's the crazy
thing. Whole team can show up that hasn't showed up all year, and then on the other side, the team that's been doing nothing but performing, top performer, can just have a bad day.
Yeah, so if that happened, and this would be worst case scenario, let's say the bus breaks down and they're not able to get there.
Literally not showing up.
I'm not going to waste any. I'm not going to put bad karma out into the country and say what if their bus crashes or something. I'm not going to say that. So where the bus breaks down, there's absolutely no way they could make it to the game except for their 60-year-old coaches. Coaches are winning. It's gonna happen. They're so bad this year, man. God, they're bad. They're so bad.
Well,
this last series we went to this weekend. The first game, no, second game, they got up 7-1 and lost. The last game, they got up 6-1 and lost.
Well,
it's just so bad, man.
Well, you've already explained to me you don't go to the game to watch the game anyway, so.
Oh yeah, I do. I do. I'll watch it. I just I'm there for other reasons more important. But to me, they're more important.
Oh yeah.
No, maybe not to everybody else, but to me, they're more important. I don't know if he's ever going to figure that out, but if he ever listens, maybe he will.
Oh, is your dad not a fan?
No, my dad's a huge baseball fan. And
I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't know if he listens or not. To be honest with you, I don't really know.
No,
wouldn't have a clue. Never ask him.
My mom, or at least she told me she has. I believe everything that she says. Yeah, 100% of the time.
I think my mom listens to this one.
Yeah,
I don't think she. I don't know if she I know she doesn't listen. She doesn't listen to the other one.
Yeah,
and I think she listens to Last Minute Laugh. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, my mom tells me she listens to absolutely everything we make.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yikes.
She literally just she does a lot of exercising, and so she literally just puts it on our channel on Spotify, and then just goes.
Nice.
So
that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not happy about some of the stuff she's probably heard, but
she's also she's a real person.
Yeah.
That your mom and my mom are not the same people.
Not the same people.
Like your mom is like she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Right.
Very reserved.
Now my mom, she's supportive, but not in the same way.
Yeah.
Like she's a warrior chick. She's got a lot of fire.
Yeah.
She's like war paint. Like let's go into battle. Like that's my mom.
Right.
She's like a hype guy, but a girl. I love it. No, but see, I need that in my life because like I'm like water and she's like fire.
Yeah.
So it works real well. Like she's the perfect mom for me.
Yeah. I think it's funny you say that because I think me and my brother's mom is to your point, I think it's exactly what we need. Because if we had a mom like yours, jail time would just be, that's what we'd be doing.
You'd be living in a mob house.
My mom had to talk us off the ledge so many times. Just like, you have to calm down. This can't happen. No, you can't beat his face all the way off his body. That can't happen. You can't do that. Why not? Because you just can't, right?
See, you know what's funny? I got the pep talks growing up. It was like I get pulled to the side, like in a sport, and like you need to be more aggressive.
Yeah, you need to kill this guy.
You need to do a little bit more. You need to do a little bit more. Yeah. And so that's maybe there's something to that.
My poor mom after a sporting event just going, it's just, you really said you were going to eat his face? You said that? Like, you understand you can't say that, right? What, I was going to eat his face? No, you can't, though.
There's literal steam coming out the sides of your head, and she's just like, it's okay.
Yeah, you have to stop now.
You got to calm down.
Yeah, you got to relax, man. You got to relax.
Nah.
And my dad just going, they'll figure it out. They're boys. They'll figure it out. It's like, Tom, he said he was going to eat his face. I have no doubt he was going to. We can't have that.
Yeah, no. It's like, now my grandmother, she was the sweet one.
Yeah, she was the relaxed. She was the talker downer.
Yeah, but no, she wasn't completely like that because she had. So it was real black and white. It's real black and white with my grandmother. Mm-hmm. So like she was fine and she was happy and she was supportive, but she was the type of person like she is the type of person where rules are rules. And like. It's real black and white. So it's like the cookie jar concept. Now, I'm not saying this has ever happened to me, but the cookie jar is sitting there. Hey, you can have as many cookies as you want as long as you ask for those cookies.
Right.
As soon as I catch you reaching in the cookie jar without asking, it's your ass.
Yeah.
Now, that's not how this works. There's a rule and there's a standard, and this is what you follow.
Right.
You break that rule? Nope. That's it. You get the switch.
Get the switch.
No, like I said, it's real sweet and supportive, but you don't break the rules.
Right. Rules are there for a reason.
Yep.
Me and my brother figured out where those stopped, and then we tried to put 1 foot over just to see. Like, let's test the waters over here. Can I put a toe over? What about a whole foot? Now, can I jump over it? We just did that.
I gotta get my little brother on here, man.
No.
Nah, I don't know what he's willing to share. He's a teenage boy.
Yeah, you don't share too much.
He's gonna be like, I don't know. My mom listens to these.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm still that way. I'm 41 years old, and you've seen me. I'm like, oh, can't talk about that. My mom listens to this. Well, I got family listens, man.
I don't know. I've gotten over it at this point. I'll say stuff, and like I know as I'm saying it, and I'll see my mom go. And I was like, you didn't know about that. You do now.
Yeah.
And they just keep going.
My mom and dad know most of the stuff I've done, but I just don't. They're real. I don't know how to say it. It would just bother them.
Yeah.
So I try to keep it classy. I try to keep it respectful. Like there's some stuff that I'll throw out there, especially on the other show a little bit. I'll throw that shit out there.
I'm not talking about on here.
Oh, you're just talking about in life.
Like in life.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like just share it. Like if I'm sitting like at the house and then there's just a topic of conversation, and then you know how conversations go. They flow into the next thing.
Yeah.
And I'll say, oh yeah, well I was here doing this, and they're like, when were you there and why were you doing that? And how old were you when this happened? Yeah. Like, oh, well, I've already said it anyways.
Yeah, now it's out there.
Yep.
No, I don't know. My parents are real weird. And like I said, the only thing I've told them is this one, Last Minute Laugh, you can listen to that all day long. If you listen to Weirdo Experts, it's on you. Like, I'm not, that's on you. You have to get over that. Like, that's on you.
You're signing off. You're like, there's an explicit button.
Yeah, there is an E button on there.
And it doesn't stand for everyone. Yeah. It's not E for everyone.
I did tell him that. I was like, look, man, you got to listen at your own risk on that one. So if you get a little teed off or a little embarrassed of what happens on that one, I can't help you with that, man.
That E stands for extra adult.
Yeah, it stands for you don't want to listen to that. That's what that stands for. So yeah, I've told them that one, but on this one and the Last Minute Laugh, I try to keep it pretty classy, just because I know they listen to that one.
Yeah,
but that was also intentional on that show.
Yeah.
It was intentionally done that way. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be that way.
I might have to guest star on one of those. There's a couple things I wouldn't mind getting off my chest.
Oh yeah. Good. You better be ready.
Hey, I look forward to the next time me and Garrett can sit down and just go at each other for a minute, because I know we are two very different people, and I absolutely love that. Any chance I get to give him some shit, I know he's going to throw it right back, so it's fair.
Yeah. He just, I don't know if he's in the air right now or if he's already landed.
Where's he at?
Georgia.
Company?
No. Nah, he had nieces were graduating or some shit. I don't know. They were graduating high school or something. Nieces were, and so he went up there to watch the graduation and hang out.
So he's in Georgia today, and tomorrow he's going to be sitting in here.
I think he's coming. He's either already back or he is coming back
right
tonight.
now.
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
Tonight. He might already be back by now. I don't really know when his plane landed though. Yeah, but he's coming back tonight, and then we're recording tomorrow.
Perfect.
Then we're recording tomorrow, and then Wednesday I'll record again. So there you go.
What about Thursday?
I guess I'm recording Thursday. Oh wait, Wednesday night we're recording.
Are we?
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work out. I got to figure that out because I'm used to recording on Thursday.
Oops.
I double booked.
Oh well.
That's okay. By the time that comes on, we'll be done with the other one.
There you go.
Yeah, I double booked. Whoops. Yeah, that was a mistake. Oh well, we'll be done with the other one by then. That other one didn't come until 7:00, so we'll be finished by then.
I want to get some swag, by the way.
I got some. It's just what size do you wear?
Medium, extra medium.
All right. I think I have some medium shirts at the house, actually. I might already have some done up. I know at my house I have some that are done up, but they're not mediums.
Yeah.
I think I have some mediums done at my mom's house.
I'm ready to retire this ball cap, by the way. So whenever we start getting hats, I definitely want to be a part of that.
We sell them now. They're just freaking expensive.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How much are they?
It's $20-something bucks.
$20-something bucks?
I think so. It's on our website.
Don't do that. That was loud.
It's really loud. Yeah, it's on our website. Hold on. There it is. I can tell you how much they are right now.
I can tell you that I would specifically have a hat just for sitting down in this room.
We got beanies.
You got beanies and ball caps?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. $23 for a dad hat. So it's like this.
Yeah.
It's got that.
Yeah.
$23 for that. Yeah.
Why'd you call it a dad hat?
That's what they're called.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. They're called a dad hat. Look, I'll show you. See?
How much are the beanies?
$26.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't set the price. Well, we kind of set the price.
A little bit.
We set the price a little bit, depending on how much we want for the
podcast.
Well, how much we want for a profit.
Oh, yeah.
But even that's barely making us anything. It's just really expensive to do because they take care of everything for us. Like, we literally don't ship it. We don't make it. We don't do anything. They do all of it and then ship it out for us. It's an entire service. So then they say, all right, set the price, and we'll tell you how much we're taking, and then you set the price on what you want the profit to be. So even then, we're barely making. We're not making a whole lot off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
need to work on the store some more because we don't have enough stuff.
I'm actually looking forward to just seeing our stuff out and about.
Yeah.
I was gonna be so cool the first time I actually see our T-shirt going by and be like, oh man.
That was what a buddy of mine. He had a clothing line for a while, and that was when I was like, "Holy!" I got really excited for him. Is when I would start seeing his stuff out.
Oh yeah.
Because he made his own clothing line, and it was his own thing.
Yeah.
And he made it, printed it, everything. He did it all himself, and he would do these. Because he was so small, he would do limited runs. Once I do this, I'm never making it again. And that was the appeal. Was
it was exclusive.
When did you get in? When did you get in on this? And so he did it for quite a while. That's what I knew. I was like, holy shit, because I started seeing his stuff out, and I was like, oh, there's some right there. And I knew when they had started wearing it, because I'm like, oh, they're an old one or they're a new one. They're
car guys are like that with things.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So especially the higher end stuff, they'll do they'll only make 1,000 or 100,000 of a certain a very specific build, and car guys that have money, they're gonna get that specific car because they know that there's only so many of these that exist,
right?
And cars are weird. Some cars, they just go and then they taper off and then they never rise in value. And then other cars, especially the higher end exclusive ones, they'll kind of maintain their value, they'll taper off a little bit, but then years later they'll come back up.
Yeah, come back up and do the thing.
Yeah. And so it's really funny because you'll see it a lot now where basically anything that's on a car show that goes through, it's the kids that are watching, right? So the things that were super cool, that was the years they were coming out, when there's a 20-year mark, things that are really cool that are getting made right now, in 20 years, those will be getting rolled across the showroom floor because now those people are making the money,
right?
And of course, iconically, what's stuck out in their head are the things that were new and cool that were on the commercials, that are on the TV and stuff like that were getting advertised then. And it's actually a really cool trend to see because things that go up in popularity were never really popular, but whenever the people with the money have the money and that's what they want, that demand goes up. That's how it works. It's super neat.
So we started making stuff, but I think probably the easiest way to do it is probably just put a picture of it up, and then as it's ordered, make it as it's ordered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That way you don't have a bunch of shit laying around, and you don't have to have all that upfront cost. I don't know. We're figuring that part out. I haven't got there yet.
Now, if anyone wants some swag, let us know.
Facebook. That'd be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
We're No Experts Podcast. Hook us up on there. We'll get you whatever you want.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of shit. Hats, shirts,
beanies, coffee cups.
Do
we have Yetis?
Yeah.
We have Yetis.
I don't know. I'm actually going to work on the store some more. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Yeah. I don't know how long we've been going.
Who knows? It's been a while.
All right. Well, we can cut it right here.
Yeah, might as well cut it off because I think your buddy's fixing to show up, isn't she?
If she's not already here.
Yeah, it's already 6:20.
She if she listens, she'll know that she is usually about half an hour late everywhere.
Wow. Just call her out like that.
I sure will.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess that'll end it.
Was this We're Experts?
No, we made it.
We made it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what this was.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
this is We Made It.
Until next time on We Made It.
It's over.